Wall Street's Bitcoin conspiracy has finally been exposed. They've revealed their hand, and it's absolutely crazy what we've seen happening in the last 2 or 3 weeks in the markets. So it all started off with the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF application. Now, BlackRock, biggest asset manager in the world, very nefarious organization, owns everything, has controlling stakes in basically every company you can possibly imagine. The media, the pharmaceutical companies, everything. And a recent expose has even shown that BlackRock is more than willing to bribe politicians, buy senators, all this stuff. They are not good actors. These people are not your friends. Wall Street is not your friend. This is something that people absolutely have to remember when we talk about BlackRock getting into Bitcoin and all these other big Wall Street players getting into Bitcoin. They are not your friends. They're not here for you. They're not here for us. They're not here for the revolution. They are anti-revolutionary organizations. They are they when we talk about they, right? Now, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application is damn big news, nevertheless. I mean, they're a $10 trillion asset manager. They're a big deal. Just 0.3% of their money would buy every single Bitcoin currently sitting on exchanges. It's big stuff. And yet, they're not the only organization that is getting into the Bitcoin ETF business. Fidelity, $4.5 trillion asset manager, also getting into the Bitcoin ETF business, rumored to be getting into the Bitcoin ETF business. Now, these are spot ETFs, to be clear. These are ETFs that will be traded on stock exchanges and will be backed by real Bitcoin one-to-one. At least that is what is supposed to be going on. The paperization of Bitcoin is a problematic conversation in of itself because it'll move more Bitcoin into the hands of the stock brokers and less Bitcoin on chain as a result, thus less fees for miners in the long run. You got to remember 70% of Bitcoin currently sitting in the hands of long-term holders as well, right? Now, those two organizations, not the only ones getting into the Bitcoin ETF game. WisdomTree, $87 billion money manager, also putting in a Bitcoin ETF application. Invesco, $1.5 trillion asset manager, renewing their Bitcoin ETF application. Now, they have had one in previously, so they're putting theirs back in essentially. Massive news as well. And all in the background of this, we see EDX. Now, EDX is an institutional grade cryptocurrency exchange offering Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, that's backed by Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Citadel. Are you starting to see it yet? Are you starting to see what's going on here? We have an unprecedented crackdown by Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC. Where did Gary Gensler used to work? Goldman Sachs. He is Wall Street. He is part of they, right? He is part of the Wall Street money control machine. Gary Gensler gets his marching orders from the big money players, right? And they say, hey, let's go crack down on the cryptocurrency industry. Let's crack down on Coinbase. Let's crack down on our competition because we're about to launch a cryptocurrency exchange. And you know what? We would like to have everybody come and trade at our exchange. We don't want to trade over at Coinbase. No. Shut Coinbase down. Attack Coinbase as much as you can. Oh, we'll co-opt Coinbase later. Don't worry. We're in the process of buying up all their company, I'm sure. But we see this huge attack on the cryptocurrency industry. And then like clockwork, a week later, after peak despair, peak mania, peak, sentiment lows, we see BlackRock and all these other big asset managers and this Wall Street-backed cryptocurrency exchange coming out. This is all planned. This is not a coincidence. This is not something that just magically happens. Oh, what coincidental timing all of this stuff is. No. They knew exactly what they're doing. And they play the markets like the best of them because they are the best of them. And you have to understand, JP Morgan, BlackRock, all these guys, market manipulation is their business model. This is what they do. Seeing them come into Bitcoin, yeah, it's going to pump our bags. Awesome. We're going to love that, right? But we have to understand that is a very poisoned chalice that we are drinking from. Inviting Wall Street in, I mean, you can't really necessarily invite them. They just show up uninvited to the party, right? They're that guy. They show up uninvited to the party, drink all the beer, and try and kiss your girlfriend, man. That's Wall Street. That's what those guys do. They're showing up to the party, And they've been slowly getting in for a while. Remember, basically all these organizations at one point or another have called Bitcoin some kind of giant scam and all that stuff, because they've always known it's not. They wanted to have control of it, right? And they are now in that control stage where they want to get as much as possible. And then we're going to see organizations like BlackRock, which, remember, big into the ESG scene, right? They're going to want to push for things like a code change for Bitcoin. And we're going to see other big asset managers probably support that play. Wall Street supporting that play, because that gives Wall Street a way to control Bitcoin, because they can't control it right now. Oh, they're going to try and corner supply. Oh, they're going to try to manipulate markets. Hear me now, quote me later. The long-term perspective of this is that they are going to try and force a code change. We're already seeing Greenpeace talk about this. This is not hyperbole. This is not, something I'm creating out of fantasy here. Greenpeace is already talking about it. We see these ESG organizations already saying, well, Bitcoin's a big problem. Its energy use is a big problem. We need to change the code. And what's changing the code going to result in? Them controlling it. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Wall Street's not your friend. And it's very exciting to see all these ETF applications coming. It's going to make it easier for regular consumers to buy Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff. Add it to their stock portfolios, essentially, just like any other asset. But it takes the uniqueness of Bitcoin away. Part of the great part of Bitcoin, buying it, holding it, putting it in your damn wallet, actually owning your money. When you own Bitcoin via a BlackRock ETF, via a Fidelity ETF, an Invesco ETF, Wisdom Tree ETF, whatever, you don't own your Bitcoin. No, they own your Bitcoin. And you hope that they actually have your Bitcoin, and you hope that they let you redeem it at some point in the future. That's not the kind of Bitcoin I signed up for. And I understand the attractiveness of that to a lot of investors who technically are not there. I get it. But if you are technically there, buy Bitcoin, get it off exchanges, put it in your wallet. That's how the game works. Don't trust Wall Street.